What is up, fishing addicts? On today's video we will be talking about a subject that I mentioned a couple of times on my videos, pro staffing and sponsorship. And if you're new to my, before we get into the whole subject, if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon. I do a lot of videos, well, I will be doing a lot more videos this year of kayaking and wading, also bank fishing. I do share my experiences and whatever I learn on my videos, tips, tricks, and um, left and right I'll throw in some little bit stuff that I learned that a lot of pros don't like to share. So let's get to the video. Basically, I am partially guilty of this as well. A lot of us who start up fishing, not just YouTubers, general, in everybody wants to be the next Mike Nelly, Jordan Lee, or whatnot, or the Google Squad, or John B, or whatever. And we start up YouTube channels or just start fishing and posting on social media. Instagram is a big one, and we look for name tags, basically brand tags on our shirts. I got introduced to it by a fellow co-angler. He also was a YouTuber. He started his YouTube a year before me, and he messaged me and gave me a link to National Pro Staff's webpage, and he told me to apply for a company, which I have never used their product. So they did contact me. We did I did talk to two individuals from the company, and on my second conversation, I said I have heard about them, but I have never used their product. Which he said, that's fine. We can give you literature that you can study how our product is made and whatnot. Tell me like a couple of guys from FLW that are using it, and I agreed to it, and they sent me the package, and I went and actually bought the product. I said to myself, I'll use it for some time, and it just did not work. I took some time discovering the product, trying to figure out what I can improve on it. You know, if you're a pro staffer, you're basically what I was thinking is I'm the product tester, or if I'm gonna find the glitches and make the bait extra special or whatnot. Then as I was looking through National Pro Staff, I saw Liquid Mayhem, and I was a huge fan of Liquid Mayhem. I mean, like, I have used every single scent in the market, from Bass Nectar to Kicking Bass or Kicking Something, Bass Dynasty. There was one with which is good. I just forgot the name, but it was pretty expensive. Actually, it was the most expensive one. I forgot what was it. Something with MA, and I can't remember. But I'll try to find it and leave the link below this, in the description. And I use all of them. And Kicking Bass was pretty good. I loved it on soft plastics. On hard baits, it didn't work as well. Liquid Mayhem, holy crap. I mean, I was blown away with that scent. So I did contact them, and they did approve me. You get discount from them, but that's about it, you know. And you can work your way up, I guess. I tried contacting them a couple of times for some stuff. Actually, there was a bait store that was interested on it, and I wanted some more information so I can go to the bait store, typical questions they will ask me and stuff. It just got lost on there, and I was working with so many projects. Then I got into it with hard bait company, and I love their baits until this day. I still use them, but uh, as I sign up with their more and more people, and I had ideas. I'm the angler that's gonna change the fishing industry. I'm on the field using their baits every day. So I contacted them. I said, hey, you know what it would improve this bait, or not improve this bait, but it's a great uh, sell point for people who fish in the rivers. Uh, I told them how I can, why they should make their baits uh, more. They should have more floating baits because they don't have any of their crankbait was floating. They were all sinking or suspending. And I told them, look, I fish the river a lot, and every time I use your crankbaits, when they get snagged, I have hard time popping them out. But any crankbait that floats, you know, it's a lot easier to pop them, and they don't get snagged as much for some reason. I have no freaking idea why, but all the floating crankbaits in the river, in Fox River, especially when I was fishing, at the time I was fishing Fox River pretty heavy. I used to just pop them out, and I went up with that idea to them, and nothing came of it, And I waited, and on Facebook, on one of the admins, I did approach the idea, and they gave me the rundown how much it's gonna cost, and that do we have enough people that will actually buy my idea, and they say they're gonna look into it. Which it was fine, I was somewhat satisfied with that answer, and then I got contacted um, from a company from Mississippi or Missouri. I forgot. It was 3 years ago. Uh, it was just a hunk of 8 ounce or 12 ounce lead, and supposed to be the greatest lure retriever in the market. So they sent me a paper package that I was supposed to sign and send them back. Um, I believe at the time I was doing my classic with my boat club, and we were at La Crosse, so I didn't have the time to mail it. Everything was signed. I didn't have the time to mail it, and as we were fishing, and I had a couple of things going through my mind, and I kept on watching the videos they sent me, and they told me to make similar videos and similar explanations. And the lady called me and said, hey, we never received your shit. Um, and I said, look, I am in middle of a tournament, and this is our classic. I cannot make a video, or I cannot be at home to send the package. So I told her I'll be home in 3 days, and I'll take care of it then. And she was so upset that I didn't send it, and everything was falling apart. The world was coming to an end, and it just got me thinking. And I approached acquaintance of mine. I used to work uh, in their office, and he's a lawyer. And I told him to read the contract, see what he thinks. And I guess the wording of it um, was above my understanding. Um, you need to be careful when you're signing contracts. So the contract was, our agreement with the company was, I need to sell certain amount of product. If I don't sell it, I am obligated to buy half of it. Or they also have a B package that you purchase them on, let's say, this is the lure retriever. They sell it to me for $10, and I can sell it for whatever, as long as they get their $10. And if you don't sell whatever that you signed for, you have to buy half of it or pay something towards them. And they did send me, I thought it was a sample because I never agreed to buy it. I didn't even send a contract to them. So I did, when I got home from La Crosse, Wisconsin, I had a big freaking ball of lead. And she sent me email. I had like 24 or 25 emails from her and said how they never received my payment, and they're questioning if I am worthy of their product. And at that point, I just told them, look, this is not going to work out for me. It just bluntly, I told them, your product doesn't work. And they were like, oh, a lot of people use it. Well, on the video, it's about 6-7 inches of water, and the guy's like shooting that thing like 100 miles an hour. At that point, dude, you're gonna break the lure, not just knock it off. And what are you gonna do when you're 10 feet down? Now, 20 feet down. You think you can just shoot it in there, like, just because it's just, how should I describe this? Basically, it's about this big in a torpedo shape, and you have the two things that stick out, and you just shoot it. Like, come on, nobody's gonna buy that crap. And I think it was like $69. I'm like, and our cost was $30. So he's like, oh, you double your price. I'm like, you're not doubling it. Nobody gonna buy that. And they're like, oh, it's made in the United States. Bullshit. You're getting all the lead and everything made over there. You're just slapping a made in the United States sticker in whatever the state you were from. I contacted the guy that suggested me on that, and I told him, man, look, man, I'm like, this sounds fishy. And then he didn't say much, and everything washed away. They were sending me emails threatening me they're gonna sue me or whatever. They said that I didn't return my product that they sent me. I didn't return it because you sending a 12-ounce pile of lead to you UPS or whatever. It's quite big a chunk of money. And they said that I'm duplicating it in my garage, and that they found similar products. They sent me web pages or whatnot. And I said, you know what, man, I don't have your product. I asked you guys, if you want your crap, send me a label, prepaid label, put it in a box, put it in UPS, or put it whatever company you guys want to use. I'll send it back to you. I never agreed to anything. So it went back for a couple of months, and then it just washed away. And this guy contacts me, and I guess he had some medical issues. He needed to have a open heart surgery and whatnot. And I did feel bad for the guy. But then he goes like, hey, you know what, man? Good thing you didn't sign up for this, because it was my way out. So if you basically bring in another customer or another YouTuber or whatever, you're off the contract. Basically, they're taking over you. So whatever money they make from you, and now you get to screw another person. But I guess they got into the wrong people, and they got sued to a point, and everything just got disappeared. But before this video goes to be 20-30 minutes, this is why I completely stopped with National Pro Staff or any pro staffers or sponsorships. And a lot of people do not understand the difference between a pro staffer and a sponsor. These totally two different things. And I see a lot of people are just trying to do everything to put a little badge on their shirt. Then they say they're sponsored by whatever. But if you're gonna do something because you're heart desires it, and not just because of some sticker on your shirt or whatever. You know what, the sticker on your shirt is good, but make sure, even if you have 20 subscribers, guys, those 20 subscribers are 20 customers. If you're not making any money, and especially I deal with companies that are like, hey, I want you to catch a big fish on these, and you tell me how good the bait is. Well, is your bait freaking good? Well, that's besides the point. I want you to catch fish. Well, you can catch fish on anything. You know, if there is some lakes that you can go over there and you just fucking slay them. You know, that's besides the point. Is it gonna work on a stretch of the river where you know there's 60 people fished it before even the first sunrise? You know, or the first moon, new moon, full moon. Do you know if that bait is gonna catch fish no matter where you go? And I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit of secret. Sometimes it's not the lure, it's the angler itself. How much time you put in to understand what your bait does inside the water in different currents and different situations. How does the bait look inside the water? How does it act? And, you know, there's so much more to it than just tying a $25 lure and you think you're gonna be the next KVD. No, if you grab a Strike King and a Rapala, and if you look at them, how different they are, and if you can see that how different they are made for totally different ways of fishing. I mean, you can go all crazy with KVD's jerk baits and they'll never row on you. But if you try that with a different bait, like a Husky jerk, holy crap, that's not gonna work. And the other thing that I wanna touch base is also when I was a beginner and I was watching all these YouTube videos, how people were saying, "Oh, if it wasn't for this rod, I could have never landed a fish." I was like, "Holy crap!" You know, I'm gonna go buy myself a favorite rod. So I found out how expensive they are, so I was saving money for it. And then they were like, hey, you know, we just signed up with 13 Fishing and they're amazing reels. And I was at that point and I'm like, you know what, that favorite rod, I think it's going to have to wait because I used 13 Fishing before. They're not bad reels, they're just shit. It's way overpriced for their. Instead of using 13 Fishing, I'd rather use KastKing. I mean, I'd rather use KastKing instead of using most of the brands. But you know, for 13 Fishing, it just, I don't know, it was just total BS to me. And then I start catching on that it's just like those guys are just trying to sell stuff, and some people they don't even believe in their product they're selling. And then short thing, after a couple of months, you know, I believe the first person was one rod. I said, hey, you know what, I love 13 Fishing, but that's not for me. And then the rest of them were just going, 13 Fishing is not for us. And it just bunch of other people over social media and people that I meet over Facebook and Instagram. They just like, hey, you want to be a part of this? I'm like, okay, you know, is it gonna pay my rent? Is it worth it? Basically, is it worth it? Yeah, you want me to sell your rod? Okay. Not most recently, but about a year and a half ago, a gentleman approached me and said, hey, you know, we're a local company. We do this and this custom. I'm like, yeah, look, I heard about you guys. Haven't used your product. You know, if you send me a sample, I can give you my honest opinion. And if I love it, if I like it, if it's everything what you say, sure, I would love to sign up with you. Never heard from him again. Okay, you want me to represent a product that I have never used? See, in the case of Liquid Mayhem, I used it and I still use it even though I'm no longer pro staff. I never renew my pro staff with them. But you know why? Because the actually the product works and I'm confident on it. It just works. So my advice to you guys who are just starting is, before you get into something, know that the product is worth it. Know that you are getting what you're worth. Like I do Amazon reviews. You know, how many products have you seen in Amazon in my channel? Maybe few that actually I used, I liked it, and it was worth for me to mention to you guys. And honestly, I made over, I would say, close to over $2,000 last year just on reviews. But I told him my honest opinion, and most of the time I was like, "Hey, you know what? Keep the product. Um, go f yourself, and here's the money that we promise you. Just don't make a video." You know what? That's all I need. I told you what's wrong with your product, why I didn't like it, or what needs to be changed, and I said, if you don't want it to be mentioned, fine, pay me for my time. You know, uh, it doesn't take more than, depending what you're reviewing, it doesn't take a whole lot of time to review it, and sometimes it's pretty good products, and you do get bad apples, and there's people that want. If anybody tells you what you should say, automatically there's something wrong with the product. So just keep in mind, guys. Don't be out there just five-starring everything. It's the greatest product you're ever gonna buy. No, it doesn't work that way. I just saw that the video is getting over 22 minutes, but this is my 2 cents on the pro staffing and sponsorship. It's all BS. I mean, there is very few people left that I still watch their channels. One of them being Realistic Fishing, iFish, and sometimes I do watch Bama Bass. But for the major YouTubers, I mean, I don't watch them anymore. They're not as entertaining as they used to be. I watch a lot more other people that they're just starting, or some of them are just doing product reviews and stuff, and like that. But other than that, just have it set up in your mind what you want and where you want to be, and don't let these guys take advantage of you. No matter how big is the company or how big is your channel, even like I said, if you have 20 subscribers, those 20 subscribers are 20 customers. And no matter how big the name of a company could be, just remember, it could be in Tennessee, in middle of nowhere, and that's where they're making their product. So, or they have a nice fancy office in middle of downtown, but all the products come from Taiwan or China or whatever. So, let me know what your thoughts are on sponsorships and pro staffs. If you guys have any bad experiences, good experiences, am I wrong to think this way, that I don't want to affiliate myself with anybody? But as of right now, I just want to focus on what I wanted to do in the first place and why I started this channel. So that's it, guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one.